actively preparing to extract hydrogen from their coastlines. Hailed as a game changer in the energy field, the project has the potential to produce at least 400 kilotons of hydrogen every year and unlock 7,500 job opportunities upon completion. The Northern Cape Economic Development Agency says the project will be in full stream in the next 5 years in the province. Shawn Modise joins us, its acting CEO, to give us a sense of some of the steps that need to be taken here. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time, Shawn. This is a project that's been in the works for quite some time now, as preparations for extraction are underway. What does this process entail? And in terms of significance, what are we looking at here?
No, thank you so much for the opportunity. Yes, as mentioned, we've been really working quite hard, and we're really getting to a point where we're amplifying towards the feasibility study for our first 5 gigawatt operation. And that is in partnership with the likes of Sasol. So essentially what we need to be preparing for is the conclusion of the partnership process and the streamlining of process in relation to the outer battery limit, the preparation of Vukupai port so that we can have a material offloading facility, and the ramp up in terms of the required transmission infrastructure to really unlock the pathway towards the electrons that will be needed to generate and produce the green hydrogen molecule. And then in terms of the export modality, we want to be ready for the first 5 gigawatt, which will be done in tracts. And we think in the next decade about we'll be able to reach sort of that particular threshold of 5 gigawatt with energy, as well as the support ancillary infrastructure, the port being ready, and the cultivation of a special economic zone in that area in collaboration with the DTIC, sort of an extension of the Namakwa special economic zone in the province, a key growth point for us, because it really will dovetail with the opportunities that have been sort of forthcoming in the conversation underpinned by the mining Indaba.
Yeah, and we know that this is a collaboration between the Capes, which aims to facilitate a coordinated approach to leverage the potential of green hydrogen in the region. What challenges come with realizing such a project? I mean, you talk about these studies, I mean, the goal here and the steps that need to take place. What are the challenges that you're facing?
So I think we need to have sort of an amplification around the unlocking of the electron, because we've done relative if you like, looking at the irradiation levels, the sort of profiles from a wind capacity factor perspective. Now we need to be enabled in terms of evacuating the electron and be able to wheel it along the 3 capes, as it were, as you put it, because we have this collaborative agreement that was entered into in 2023. And it becomes sort of the backbone of really unlocking the Western SADC corridor. We're amplifying in terms of studies in relation to pipeline technology that will enable us a north, south modality in partnership and collaboration with Namibia as well. And we're hoping to really advance by unlocking sort of the load profile and having that growth center in terms of energy commodity as a tradable commodity as well, which underpins sort of the unlocking of industry, decarbonizing of mobility, and really enabling us to attain our just transition sort of commitment, as it were, because we need to leverage of our natural endowments in the province and link up with our sister provinces, because we are a unitary state, and we seek to make sure that we amplify on that pathway, as it were.
In a special address by President Cyril Ramaphosa at the World Economic Forum, we heard him talk quite a bit about looking at agreements on increasing the quality and quantity of climate finance flows to developing economies. How much of an impact does climate change pose as you look to this project and gear up to ensure that it is realized?
So it's a core underpinning for us. Climate change is really the rationale in terms of really transitioning our industries, reducing our carbon footprint, and ensuring that we set a particular pathway in terms of enabling other sectors to sort of go into a green transition. Obviously, for us, what is relatively key is also leveraging on sort of the future rare earth minerals that will also become part of our beneficiation sort of segue in terms of battery energy storage, manufacturing of wind turbines, sort of key commodities that are enabling us to do that. And by so saying, also sort of equilibriuming sort of a pathway that will be able to ensure that we comply with CBAM in relation to the EU market, as well as the Global South sort of permutation in terms of the decarbonization agendas as well, and enable us to become a first mover as well in terms of the molecule that will enable a just transition in the various spectrum.
Yeah, we know it was announced that 135 billion rand had been pledged for this project, but how much will it truly cost to turn South Africa's green hydrogen plans into reality?
It's going to cost a bit, but we are looking at really leveraging of partnerships, looking at leveraging of conditional grants that are out there, sort of the JET-IP, the various throughputs that are sort of articulated in our commercialization strategy of the country, and really ensuring that we attract original equipment manufacturers to come and beneficiate a lot of our mining throughput. And all of this is going to be sort of an ecosystem that we will drive, that will, in one way or another, put us in a competitive advantage position because of the capacity factors of our solar irradiation, and that really amplifies how we can then offset on the cost of production because of the relative price points that we'll be able to attain.
Yeah, very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. Leaving the conversation there, the Northern Cape Economic Development Agency CEO, acting CEO Shawn Modise, giving us a sense of some of the expectations around this project.